You know her as the iconic Dr. Izzy Stevens on Grey's Anatomy and as the 2000s queen of the rom-com scene. Let's be real, 27 Dresses is one of my all-time favorite guilty pleasure movies. Because who doesn't love a good wedding-themed flick? But now, a mother of three and the star of the hit show Firefly Lane, Katherine sat down with Harper's Bazaar to share everything that she eats in a day. And your girl is hungry, so let's dive in. Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp. Welcome to Abby's Kitchen. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at everything Katherine Heigl eats in a day. And you can pause the screen or look at the description to check out my disclaimer, including my general trigger warning. We'll be looking at another person's alleged diet, so feel free to skip this video if it's not supportive to your journey. And if you are not already subscribed here, please help a girl out, hit that subscribe, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Abby's Kitchen. All right, lovelies, let's get in.
So I start with my coffee in my keeping room that has my little fireplace in it, 3 out of 8 of my dogs. Sometimes I do this really cool little journal thing and then a mantra for the day. Sometimes I pull my tarot cards because I'm kind of witchy like that and I really like witchy stuff. Always call my mother every day, twice a day.
I'm sorry, 3 kids and 8 dogs?
I am impressed.
I mean, I am overwhelmed with 2 and 1, so you go, girl. Like, talk about a superwoman. Hats off to you. Now, obviously, we love a morning routine, no matter what it looks like. Spontaneous, chaotic, zen, witchy, whatever. The point is that it should work for you and your needs and set the tone for the day. And it sounds like Katherine's morning routine has the works. We got fireplaces, an abundance of dogs, tarot cards, journaling, mantras, and coffee chats with mom. I mean, I don't know how she does it, but I am taking notes.
I typically do not eat until 11-ish, and I'm really enjoying frosted mini wheats. I love them so much, and I can't stop eating them. And everybody gets mad at me because they think I need to eat something more well-rounded or healthy or has protein or whatever, but I'm telling you, they really work for me.
First of all, I love mini wheats. Growing up, they were one of our go-to breakfasts. We liked them because they had a coating of frosting on them, and my mom liked them probably because they had the word wheat in them, and she assumed that made them healthy. And as her grown adult dietitian daughter, I give Grandma Sharp a very enthusiastic thumbs up.
Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job.
1 serving of cereal has about 5 grams of protein and 6 grams of fiber. And if we're serving with regular dairy or soy or pea milk, that would boost the protein up to 11 grams. It's still a light breakfast, and we do know that getting a good amount of protein in the morning has a ton of important benefits. It supports muscle mass, energy expenditure, nighttime sleep, satiety hormones, glucose regulation, and more. So if we wanted a more substantial higher protein breakfast, she could do like a basic Greek yogurt, add the mini wheats on top, and then throw in a bunch of berries and like a little drizzle of peanut butter. That actually sounds like really damn good to me. But of course, if you prefer a light breakfast and that feels good to you, amazing, live your life, girl.
Oh, and I use Lactaid, which I'm also really enjoying because I have not been able to drink milk since I was like 14.
So lactate is one of the 2 most evidence-based digestive enzymes on the market, the other of which is Beano. Now, I get that digestive enzymes are kind of hot and trendy these days, with every influencer under the sun trying to convince you that you need one to cure your bloating. But a lot of the influencer-backed digestive enzymes on the market are not evidence-based, or may only be evidence-based for a small subsection of the population who have clinical diagnosed deficiencies, not for every 20-something-year-old on TikTok. Ultimately, you should also work with a registered dietitian to help determine the root cause of your symptoms first and determine if digestive enzymes would even be a good fit. But if lactose intolerance is an issue, then a lactate enzyme can definitely do wonders, especially if you don't want to forgo that extra cheesy pizza on date night.
My dairy issues are confusing because I can't just drink milk, but I can have like half and half or cream. Can't eat ice cream, but I can eat cheese.
So yeah, it might seem random, but Yeah, this actually checks out. So a lot of lactose intolerant folks may find that they can tolerate certain dairy products like cheese and yogurt just fine, whereas other dairy products like milk or ice cream may trigger uncomfortable digestive symptoms. And this is because yogurt and some cheeses contain lactobacillus bacteria, which can naturally convert lactose into lactic acid, thereby lowering the amount of lactose it contains. Softer cheeses do tend to have more lactose than like harder cheeses, which are generally aged longer. As for cream or half and half, it has a much higher percentage of its total volume made up of fat compared to fluid milk, which ultimately leaves less volume per ounce for lactose, which is the carbohydrate in dairy. Skim milk, on the other hand, would have no fat, so it contains more lactose per ounce. All that said, lactose is a FODMAP, and we all have our own uniquely sized FODMAP bucket. Some people's bucket fills really super quickly and easily, and others can tolerate a lot more. So if you're unsure of your own tolerance, start slow and work your way up.
So Josh is our big breakfast maker, and he's an excellent breakfast maker. So I just let him do that. Like eggs over medium, which I really love, and bacon. I can't have eggs without bacon. I think that's weird. I do love a good egg scramble, like just cheese, tomatoes, eggs, Tabasco. Yes.
Want to know what's better than eggs for breakfast? When someone else makes you eggs for breakfast. Husbands, take note.
I'll be looking for the email.
I'm also glad to hear that we have a little more breakfast variety going on outside of just frosted mini wheats. And if protein was the concern, then eggs are certainly a super great option, as 2 eggs provide around 12 grams of protein, and adding some bacon and cheese in there will bump that up even more. Ooh, but dietitian tip here will be to combine the eggs with the mini wheats so that we have protein, fat, and fiber all in one meal.
So I live in the middle of nowhere and I can't order anything in. I can't like run to a smoothie bar and get a smoothie. I have to make the smoothie. I can't get like a pasta salad or a hamburger. I have to make it, and then I have to clean it up and put it all away. So you get to a point, and if the kids aren't home and they're at school, you're just kind of like, I don't want to bother, so I might have another bowl of frosted mini wheats.
If this is not a perfect example of mom life, I don't know what is. And totally understandable considering the whole 3-kid, 8-dog situation. Like, mini wheats would be all I ever eat. So no judgment here, girl.
He makes the best sandwiches. He goes all out. I'm the kind of person who's like, all right, just throw me some bread, some bologna, some cheese, some mustard, some mayo, that's fine. He does like the lettuce, the tomato, the sliced onion, makes an aioli at times, like takes a lot of pride in it.
Again, husbands, take note. We don't need diamonds or flowers. We need sandwiches. Okay, but diamonds are also nice.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Okay, but the homemade aioli? Like, this family of 13 clearly has a different set of hours in the day, because I have not made aioli since culinary school, long before I had a single dog or child. I want this life.
Get your fucking ass up and work.
We go to this great Italian restaurant in Park City called Bartolo's. Simple but really good. Homemade pasta, great salads, like this arrata and beet salad that I crave. Quick, simple, delicious lunch. I also love sushi.
There is nothing better than like a mother-daughter pasta/sushi date, and this sounds totally divine. I also love the way that Katherine describes food. So she uses words like simple, delicious, and frequently points out how much she loves certain foods. You can tell that she eats food for pleasure and convenience and doesn't fuss about calories or trendy superfoods like most celebs, which is really refreshing to see. Also, burrata is definitely up there on my favorite food list.
I go through my phases of being really kind of a health nut and really going for, I did a whole plant-based thing for a while, but I haven't found a way to really sustain that. Instead, I've kind of moved more towards just embracing whole foods and just kind of well-rounded meals, and maybe trying to eat a little less of it if I want to drop a few.
Okay, so I'm glad that Katherine has found a way of eating that's sustainable and works for her, which is ultimately what any lifestyle change comes down to. All too often we get fed these kind of quick fixes and fads that are typically too difficult to actually maintain over time, either because they're too strict, restrictive, unrealistic, or all of the above. And I think that aiming to eat more whole foods in a balanced way is a very sustainable and manageable goal.
And dinner is typically my terrain. Like now at this time of year for us, we're doing a lot of crock pot chilies, a lot of stews. Oh, we have an air fryer. We do a lot of salmon in the air fryer. I'm really a big fan of the pressure cooker. I do a pumpkin turkey chili. Other favorite and super family favorite is spaghetti bolognese. Oh, and meatloaf. I have my mother's meatloaf recipe. I love chicken tikka masala.
Amazing options, and I'm loving the variety here. So we've got lots of family favorites, some cooking hacks, along with some different cultural flavors. I also think that crock pots or pressure cookers or air fryers are all great tools for busy parents just trying to feed themselves and their kids. And they've definitely saved my life more times than I can count.
I never used to be much of a sweets person, but now every night after dinner, I have to have a Fat Boy. Do they sell those here? Or is that just a Utah thing? And then some of my favorite nights though are just a cheese plate, like a charcuterie. I love nice cheese too. I love really stinky cheese, like the kind of cheese that you open your fridge and you're like, my God, like a peppered salami or calabrese.
So I had to Google this Fat Boy ice cream situation because it's definitely not available in Canada. Trust me, your girl knows all her ice cream options up north. But hello, definitely see the allure. Ice cream sandwiches are my jam, as are basically any and all frozen ice cream desserts. I love that despite her lactose intolerance, it doesn't seem to stop Katherine from enjoying her favorite foods, which is a lot of dairy apparently. So if that lactate is working its magic, then I say keep the ice cream and cheese plates a-comin'. Not to mention, I actually think cheese and charcuterie is a really great balanced bedtime snack. We got protein, fat, and some fiber-rich carbs in any fruit, crackers, or bread. And with a glass of wine, I mean, that's my kind of night. That said, there is an old wives' tale that eating cheese before bed will give you nightmares, which can actually be traced to the movie A Christmas Carol, where Ebenezer Scrooge blamed his ghostly sightings on a crumb of cheese.
Might be an undigested bit of beef. A piece of cheese.
I think we can call that one out as BS. As for cheese and quality of sleep, we don't have a lot of specific good evidence on this, but we do have research that having cheese before bed actually help to support a good night's sleep. And despite the study being sponsored by the British Cheese Board, it actually does make sense since cheese contains more of the sleep-supporting amino acid tryptophan than turkey does, plus it has calcium and protein, which can help to also support our sleep. The best sleep-supporting option is cottage cheese, which is naturally lowest in fat and highest in protein. And if lactose is an issue, you can also find it lactose-free. You guys know I'm a huge cottage cheese fan, and as an insomniac, this is actually one of the main reasons why. Overall, I found this video really refreshing and relatable. Like, it kind of felt like I was sitting down with my mom friend and just like dishing over our favorite foods and sharing our struggles of working mom survival. Katherine clearly eats for pleasure, and she gravitates towards the foods that she loves and are easy for her to prepare for her family. And the rest just kind of all falls into place. And I wholeheartedly believe that if simplicity and convenience helps you get food on the table without undue stress and suffering, it is a huge win for your health. So on that note, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it the thumbs up. Leave me a comment below on who or what you'd like to see me review next. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye!